In the world of the ultra-high net worth individual, the greatest luxury isn't something you can buy. It is something you cannot find. Welcome back to the opulent class. There is a shift happening in the upper echelons of global travel. For decades, luxury was defined by the shout. It was the gold-plated lobby of a Burj Al Arab, the fleet of branded Rolls-Royces idling outside a Parisian palace, and the recognizable logo on a shopping bag. But today, true power has stopped shouting. It has begun to whisper. We are entering the era of stealth wealth hospitality, a world of un-Googleable hotels, unmarked doors, and destinations that technically do not exist on any public map. If you can find the website, you aren't the target audience. If you can see the signage from the street, it's not exclusive enough. Today, we are unveiling the invisible infrastructure of the global elite. We're exploring why the world's most powerful people are paying tens of thousands of dollars a night to stay in places that look, from the outside, like absolutely nothing at all. Because in a world of total digital surveillance and constant social media posturing, the ultimate flex isn't being seen. It is being impossible to find. To understand the rise of stealth wealth hospitality, we first have to understand the death of the grand hotel as a status symbol. For the better part of the 20th century, the luxury hotel was a stage. You went to the Ritz or the Plaza specifically to be part of a spectacle. You wanted the white-gloved service to be performative. You wanted the world to know exactly where you were staying because the brand of the hotel conferred a certain level of status upon the guest. But that dynamic has flipped. In 2026, the traditional grand hotel has become too accessible. When anyone with a high-limit credit card can book a suite and post it to their story, the brand of the hotel loses its luster for the truly influential. The opulent class is no longer looking for a stage, they are looking for a sanctuary. This has led to the rise of the residential illusion. Think of properties that don't feel like hotels, but like the private estate of a very wealthy, very tasteful friend. There's no check-in desk. There are no do not disturb signs. There is no lobby filled with tourists taking photos of the flower arrangements. Instead, you are met at an unmarked gate, or perhaps a private airstrip, and whisked into an environment where the service is so intuitive it feels invisible. This is what we call whisper service. In a standard 5-star hotel, a butler might ask you what you'd like for breakfast. In a stealth wealth property, the staff already knows that you prefer a specific 2014 vintage of mineral water chilled to exactly 42 degrees, and that you take your coffee with a specific type of oat milk that isn't even sold in the country you're currently visiting. They don't ask, they simply provide. The goal is to remove the friction of choice. For the person who spends their day making high-stakes decisions, the greatest luxury is having every need met before they even have the chance to think of it. But how do these places stay un-Googleable? It's a deliberate strategy of digital shadowboxing. Many of the most exclusive private member clubs and hotels now employ negative SEO. They don't want to be at the top of a search result. In fact, if you search for them, you might find a dead link or a landing page that requires a multi-factor authentication code just to see a photo of the property. Take, for example, the rise of the No-Signage club in cities like London, New York, and Tokyo. You could walk past these buildings every day for a decade and never know that behind a nondescript, slightly weathered black door lies a multi-million-dollar interior designed by the likes of Axel Vervoort or Kelly Wearstler. There is no brass plaque. There is no valet stand. Access is granted via facial recognition or a discrete RFID chip embedded in something as mundane as a keychain. The barrier to entry here isn't just financial. It's social. These are referral-only ecosystems. To get a room at a stealth wealth retreat in the Peloponnese or a private island in the Maldives, you often need a letter of recommendation from an existing guest. It's a return to the old world style of networking, where your reputation is your currency. It creates a closed-loop environment where every other guest in the room is a peer. There is an unspoken contract of privacy. What happens behind the unmarked door stays there. This is why you rarely see interior photos of these places on social media. Many of these establishments have strict no phone policies, or they go as far as placing tamper-proof stickers over the cameras of guests' devices upon entry. This brings us to the aesthetic of the Whisper. If you were to look at the interiors of these properties, you wouldn't see gold leaf or heavy velvet. You would see raw, honest materials. Reclaimed wood from 300-year-old barns, hand-honed stone from local quarries, and bespoke linens that cost more per yard than a designer tuxedo, but look like simple, unbranded cotton to the untrained eye. This is the if you know economy. It's a way for the elite to signal to one another without alerting the masses. It's the architectural equivalent of a Loro Piana cashmere sweater. To the average person, it looks like a plain gray pullover. To the initiated, it represents a specific level of craftsmanship and wealth that doesn't need a logo to validate itself. The shift towards stealth wealth is also a response to the Disneyfication of luxury. As more people gain access to high-end experiences, the experiences themselves become standardized. A luxury suite in Dubai begins to look a lot like a luxury suite in Singapore or New York. They use the same marble, the same branded toiletries, and the same scripted greetings. Stealth wealth hospitality rejects this standardization. It embraces the hyper-local. These hotels are deeply embedded in their environment. If you are staying at a secret retreat in the high desert of Utah, the food is sourced from that specific soil. The architecture mimics the surrounding rock formations, and the experience is dictated by the rhythm of the local landscape, not a corporate handbook. It is an authentic connection to a place, shielded by a layer of extreme privacy. We also have to discuss the role of the private fixer. In the world of stealth wealth, travel agents are obsolete. They have been replaced by lifestyle managers and fixers who operate in the shadows. These individuals don't book flights, they secure permissions. They are the ones who know the owner of the private villa in Tuscany that isn't for rent, or the person who can open a closed museum at 2 a.m. for a private tour. They are the gatekeepers to the un-Googleable world. So why does this matter to us, the opulent class? Because it redefines what we should be striving for. It suggests that the pinnacle of success isn't the ability to buy things, but the ability to access spaces that are closed to the public. It's about cultural capital. It's the realization that true power often speaks in a whisper because it doesn't need to compete for attention. It already has everything it needs. As we look toward the future of travel, we will see more of these invisible hotels. We will see the continued rise of private member communities that span the globe, offering a consistent, low-profile lifestyle for the nomadic elite. The world is becoming louder, more crowded, and more transparent every day. In that environment, silence and secrecy become the most expensive commodities on Earth. The next time you're walking through the streets of a major city or traveling through a remote corner of the world, take a closer look at that unmarked door or that hidden driveway. Don't look for the neon lights or the grand entrances. Look for the places that aren't trying to be noticed. Those are the places where the real conversations are happening. Those are the places where the world is being shaped. Because remember, in the modern world, if everyone knows where you are, you're probably not where the real power is. Thank you for joining us for this exploration of the invisible world. If you value the art of the whisper over the noise of the crowd, ensure you are subscribed to the opulent class. We will continue to bring you the stories that the rest of the world isn't looking for. Until next time, may your class always be opulent.